This is true disruptive art that you're about to witness. What rhymes with Global Plastics Treaty?
Global Plastics Treaty.
Global Plastics
Momentum captured.
Grassroots vocal activists
Show their passions. Global Plastics.
Ocean disaster
Appetite for a global pact.
so massive.
Global Plastics. No need to be drastic.
Ambitious treaty mode.
Negotiate that quick.
Ottawa INC4
No going backwards.
Stop the flow of global
Plastics.
Stop the flow of global plastics. All right, that's the chorus of the song right there. All right. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed that. You will hear it twice more. All right. Stop the flow of global plastics. Stop the flow. Cut it off. That's triage. Somehow plastics gotta pass.
That's fiat.
So shout out to Elder Francis who set us off with the smudge. I can still smell that smoke in this hall.
Plastic has been found everywhere, not only in ecosystems, in the atmosphere. The food that we eat, the water that we sip, even with our bodies, is all very prevalent.
It's way too prevalent. You could ask the WWF president, Professor Adil Najam. He was feeling that plan. And like Adil said, after we crack this treaty, we can look back after Korea like, yo,
that was easy. Amina Mohammed is someone we've got to mention. She said we have the opportunity to strengthen our momentum in this fight against plastic pollution. There's so much more that we could possibly be doing.
So let's do this. What you think we lay in these plans for? Government can set the rules, right?
For the dance floor.
That's a metaphor. It's got some adrenaline, and we heard it from the Norway minister. That's Ann Tvenerim.
We are breathing, eating, and drinking plastic, but also have the solutions to meet the challenge of restricting or eliminating plastic product and flow. You don't have to believe me. Just ask Stephen Guilbeault.
Whoa, Guilbeault from the Canada Environment Ministry, throwing down with that national new federal plastics registry, end-to-end tracking of all the pollution, along with the parliamentary secretary, Julie Dabrusin.
Give it up for Julie Dabrusin. She just announced us just now. Give it up for Julie Dabrusin.
We see you, Julie.
We see you, we see you, we see you. Inger Anderson brilliantly explained how plastics chokes our rivers and floods our drains. Despite plastic being a critical ingredient in construction and compliance, it's also an inconvenience.
It's also an inconvenient truth. That's how we need this to move, and we need to keep track of raw materials too. When the pellets spill in the sea, it's not easy to clear up. That's the minister from Spain, Mrs. Teresa Ribera.
And Ghana's 3 key steps is indeed a winner, presented with execution by Ophelia Hayford Mensah. We must prioritize the most impactful measures, strong implementation, support, and mandate requirements together.
Because together is better when you're regulating plastics. Ask the Minister of State from the States, Jose Fernandez. Plastic forks and plates, we can dispose of those, as the European VP Marcos Efcovis knows.
Microplastics are scientific evidence. You can measure it. Plastic pollution is definite. Other research confirms one of our greatest fears, that plastic pollution will double in the next 20 years.
It goes global plastics,
momentum capture,
grassroots vocal activists
show their passions. Global plastics,
ocean disaster,
appetite for a global pact,
so massive.
Global plastics,
the need so drastic.
Ambitious treaty mode,
negotiate that quick.
Ottawa INC4,
no going backwards.
Stop the flow of global plastics. We need visible action on banning toxic plastics. The call to ambition sprinkled in with a little magic. With a recent ban on single-use plastic parts, we applaud Dr. Joelle Tricia Clark.
From St. Kitts, the small island position is special. Plastic is billions of individual vessels. We have the scientific evidence though. Check it, we heard it from the Inc. president, Luis Valdivieso.
Plastic pollution is a global aching. We need to bring the humanity back into these negotiations, and more indigenous voices in the scope. What this crisis needs is a little Suzanne Smoke.
And more Zainab Sedan, who's repping the Africans in the WWF, I mean in the global plastic sense. And plus this topic is not new to Rwanda either. Just ask the minister Jean d'Arc Muhammad Maria.
When it comes to plastics, the playing field has become much bigger. Business needs global rules put in the picture, and financial players to come out to play. Take it from Rob Opsimer and Manny Vajipe.
Plastic is in the waterways now, y'all. That's apparent to the Métis National Council President Cassie Karen. Plus, indigenous knowledge is strong on this topic. The circumpolar president knows. I'm talking Lisa Copper-Qualic.
It's a call to ambition to protect our environment for future generations and everything inside of it. So thank you for kicking us off and making us light up. We should all be as eager as Chief Dylan White Duck.
It needs to be done right now and in a hurry, with social protections in place for the people working. The wasteful ways of the past are past reoccurring in the hands of trade unions with Ripon Chowdhury.
I could only imagine the high stress for human rights lawyers like Dali F. Marquez Inez, creating a shift for sustainable practice for human rights and creating change for the masses.
It's not a plastic problem, it's a people problem. Handle it. Put indigenous rights in the center
where the action is.
Like Plua and Atomic, the hard work isn't easy, so we need Rochelle Diver in all the UN treaties.
The financial piece that needs to be accounted are people like Ellen Martin putting money where their mouth is. And artists that show us where the world went wrong with single-use plastic like Benjamin Von Wong.
You got this. We can still make moves and prosper. Got the circular capital flowing through the coffers. Let's not make producer responsibility too awkward. Unilever knows. Talk to Heinz Schumacher.
More respect from big plastic companies should be shared to waste pickers like Merica Vasquez Tigliero, working to get the plastic waste count to zero. What an inspiration and environmental hero.
So show me the dinero, cause cash makes it quicker. Big up Tagliero and the waste pickers. You stay with it. Plus when the Global Youth Coalition goes in, there's no stopping the motion of Zuhair Ahmed Koshik.
There are circumpolar Inuit protocols for equitable and ethical engagement for all, because we don't have any time to borrow. We need to do better for the children of tomorrow.
Cause the children of today get it, they know the scene. They've had it with the vinyl chloride and polypropylene, polyethylene and polymethyl methacrylate. So get the treaty right before it's too late.
Global plastics,
momentum captured.
Grassroots vocal activists show their passions.
Global plastics,
it's an ocean disaster.
Appetite for a global pact
so massive. Global plastics need so drastic. Ambitious treaty mode.
Negotiate that quick.
Ottawa INC4, no going backwards.
Stop the flow of global plastics. When we say stop the flow of, you say global plastics.
Stop the flow of. Stop the flow of. Stop the flow of.
And that is an anthem for global plastics.
Plastic.